So let's do this. I have never shot a 5.45 outside of the military and outside of working with foreign forces. So Addison, can you give me that 5.45 mag right here filled up on the back? So now that I left these in the sun, they're cooking hot. But I got a 5.56 gun here. This is a 11.5 inch BCM, which is what I run for most of all my classes and when I ran in the military. It's got a Surefire can, an LA5 or Pac 15, and a good patrol rifle optic. It's a PRO made by Aimpoint. I like this because it's cheap and it works. Also, Special Operations Command did a test and it did very well. It's what I use in the military is M68 or CCO is the name of it. Okay, so that's number one. So I'm gonna take this 55 grain full metal jacket, 5.56. Nothing special, nothing sexy. It's the standard ammo that you would get from Winchester or Remington that you'd use to shoot paper. Not optimal for this gun. Optimal for this gun is 70 grain and beyond with a 1-7 twist, but it works for this experiment. All right, so this gun's hot, ready to go. I'm gonna set this right down here. All right, Meridian. This is a Meridian 5.45. Now, these guns, which are 5.45 by 39 millimeter, are made by Meridian Defense. I don't have a relationship with them. They don't pay me anything, and I wouldn't do that. I would never take money from a company that I don't believe in, have it evaluated and have it tested. So this gun is a 5.45, and I've never seen what it does on glass. I've never seen its effects on glass. But if you look at this round, it almost looks like a 6.5 Creedmoor. It's got a real thin 5.45 round that's real thin, pretty long, and then has a whole bunch of gunpowder behind it. I don't even know the muzzle velocity of this specific round out of this gun. Anybody know 5.45, these Meridian Defenses muzzle velocity? I can get those specs. We'll put those in the notes on YouTube just to make sure people understand. All right, so I'm gonna load this one up. Good. This one's loaded up. This one's got an L can, a 1-4 that I used to use in the military. Might even be from the military. Just kidding. LA5 and it's a cheap. People don't like these guys. Olight. I like them because they're cheap and they're reliable. But it has a Viz laser and also a light that I could touch with my pressure switch. Surefire wouldn't hook it up. All right. I got this gun set up. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put two targets. I got two targets. This target right here and this target right here. I'm gonna shoot this target with 5.56 and I'm gonna aim at the box, which is the pump house. My opponent aim, compensating for the distance, meaning I'll aim higher and ensure that I compensate for the height over bore of my optic. I will try to impact center mass of this heart. So a couple things. Again, this is not science. I'm not chronoing. I'm not getting specific data. What I'm doing is I'm shooting 5 rounds per weapon system from the same position on the same target with the same point of aim. I'm not deviating, which means I might get a round punching through the same hole, opening it up, and then start getting clear, unobstructed views. So I'm not going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get 5 different considerations. I'm going to play it real. Because I'm not deviating the position of the gun during a gunfight. I'm just waylaying in the same position. I also keep the muzzle of the gun back from the glass at least 6 inches. Again, another consideration, because some of you might consider punching the gun through the glass to get a clear, unobstructed view. That way you're not spalling the glass and creating an obstruction in view that you won't be able to see the target because you're just pumping rounds through the glass. We'll look at the targets as an indication of success, and we'll look at the glass as an indication of me being reliable and repeatable. Make sense? Okay, I'm gonna ditch this belt. I'm gonna get on my little wolf mask. It's the only one they had at the airport. Don't make fun of me. And then I'm gonna get in here and shoot some glass. Any questions so far, guys? Damn, we should shoot media all the time, man. It's a twofer. Actually, I don't need this mag. Hold that. All right, everybody got eyes and ears? Let me get everybody back behind the C pillar, which is right here, and then make sure you have eyes and ears for these two iterations. And you guys could set, if you guys want to get a good angle and back out here, you could even use your cameras and take pictures, whatever you want. I don't mind. I might be a little muffled with his mask on, but you get the point. No big deal. Don't be jealous. All right, guys, I'm going to do 5.56 on the right, and I'm going to do 5.45 on the left. I'm actually going to back it up a little bit so I can get that 6 inches. That's what she said. Hey, George, yeah? Can you turn the car on and so I could back up my my chair? What? Oh, never mind. I got it. How do these go back? It's got a master control?
It should be in the door right there.
Oh damn, this is high speed.
Is it going?
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull me back so I can get 6 inches back from the windshield.
Is that good?
Do that on that side as well. All right, guys. So the first gun I'm gonna do is 5.56, 55 grain on the right. Are you guys ready? All right, George, take this gun. All right. Next gun, 5.45 Meridian Defense. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, let's go look at it.
Introducing the new Fieldcraft Mobility Go Bag. Designed from real-world special operations experience. For quick response in the most critical situations. When seconds count and help is minutes or hours away. The Mobility Go Bag is designed to easily detach from the back of your seat and built with modularity in mind. Featuring simple conversion to a backpack. For on-the-go preparedness through any circumstance. Now available at the Fieldcraft Survival Store.
All right, guys, so we're off the glass. We're at full muzzle velocity, close proximity. I expect these rounds to impact these targets and have effect. I will tell you just straight up, as I shot the 5.56, it's a little bit more anticipated muzzle flip and recoil. Obviously, recoil was managed because I'm shoulder stocking the gun, or stocking the gun. But the, man, I could tell the difference in energy even in the combustion of the muzzle brake and the gas around me. That 5.45, I'll be interested to put the foot-pounds of energy and then the muzzle velocity in both. Now, let's take a look first before we look at the targets. Let's look at the glass. So I almost completely compromised, which is good for us because we can pull this glass easy and reinstall. Safe Flight Replaces, they're ready to come out here and replace this. So right now when you look at this, 5.56, nice stable position. I had a can on it as well. I recommend you do the due diligence and doing your paperwork and get cans. It changes everything. One, it doesn't obstruct you when you're shooting from interior platforms. Two, it reduces obviously your muzzle flash and your signature. And three, you won't be 100% disabled like me because you didn't use suppressors for 10 years. So if we take this versus the 5.45, what do you notice? A lot of energy that translated. And I thought the glass was going to break out with the 5.45. I could feel it and I could see it like disrupt, and you could see the spalling of all the spider web breaking that glass, and it's got a compromise right here even when the rounds broke through. Now let's look at the target. All right, so I can tell you right now, the first round that broke through, which one do you think is the first round? Yeah, all the shrapnel, the frange. When it probably hit the glass, broke apart, and then turned into shrapnel. This hit it sideways. Sometimes we could pull out the shrapnel embedded in the cardboard, but see how it hit it sideways? That's a complete penetration. So it's still affecting it, but it doesn't have enough muzzle velocity and foot-pounds of energy to compromise the cavity, the chest cavity. So what happened when I started shooting rounds through the hole? What did that translate to here? Rounds affecting the target properly. So I've actually heard snipers, and I've actually been trained this, when you shoot glass, you want to shoot glass the first time with the first hole because you have an understanding of what it's going to do every time. Does that make sense? So if I hit the glass, I want to hit the glass every time. But if you start hitting the hole, you might be affecting that round in ways that you can't control the variable. So in this case, I'm putting him through the same hole because I'm not deviating the round because I'm in a fast, sustained gunfight. Bomb, 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 bomb. So I don't have a choice here. And what happened is the rounds got through and affected the target. That would have put him down. Everybody agree? Okay. Now let's move over here to the 5.45. So I can't tell if these pieces are shrapnel. It looks like it because they're not clean holes. Like, it looks like it broke apart. But a lot of that round broke apart and disintegrated like that 5.56 round. Expected, right? But then what do we have as I shift this over? These clean holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe even that one right there. So better effect on target. I just did a poor job of holding it stable because that gun's rocking. I'll let you guys shoot that 5.45. And actually I'll pick it up. I've never shot this 5.45. I didn't want to on purpose, but I had it C-clamped on the front end, but that thing was like whack, whack, whack. Meridian recommended a can for it, a suppressor for it, and I might shift to that. But let's talk about the effects on this target. This dude dead? Yeah, absolutely he's dead. So if I take a 9mm and do the same thing, what are we going to see? A lot of shrapnel, right? Even in Full Metal Jacket, most of you guys aren't running on a flat range that, but your self-defense ammo might be a hollow point or bonded. It is not going to have the terminal ballistic effects on target like these rifles do. I'm sitting here at probably 2,500 feet per second. At a pistol, you're probably below 900 feet per second here, right? Huge difference. So what are the advantages of a long gun? Of a higher muzzle velocity, larger caliber gun? Distance. Now, if I'm talking about the guy who I see who's a block away and I'm trying to defend my life, I could affect them. Pistol, forget about it. It starts to degrade with more distance. Rifle doesn't. It's like the idea of when people always go, oh, that dude at 100 meters, well, he's not a threat. Well, if he has an AK-47 with an optic on it or he understands how to use iron sights, why is he not a threat? Because at the flash to bang, at which point you get hit in the chest at 50 reduced muzzle velocity, it's still going to affect you, right? So we have to take those into consideration. I also look at these guns and not only look at glass, but what else are we looking at? The door. The door. If I had to engage, like I had the gun depressed and I'm here and I had to somehow engage, you take my big old pickup truck and everything's and defilate. I'm shooting down. I got to use all my high angle tactics for high angle shooting for out of my truck. But you might be in a scenario where you're blasting through your own door. And those are considerations that I want to affect. If I put a round through my door is it going to affect the bad guy who's on the other end of it? With a pistol, it's going to be unknown. There's a lot of variables, but it's not going to hold itself together like this rifle round. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. Look, I am a big fan of 300 Blackout. I'm a big fan of 5.56. I'm a big fan of probably be a big fan of 5.45 as soon as I learn a little bit more about it, especially with gun handling, because I think a higher caliber rifle round and a small form factor in your vehicle should be everyday carried. There's no reason you shouldn't. One argument is, Mike, why would I put a expensive loaded gun and just get stolen? Well, why do you leave your iPad in your vehicle? Why do you leave your laptop in your laptop case in your vehicle? Same reason. I'm not worried about some shithead stealing my gun out of my car. I'm more worried about defending my life if I have to. By the way, 30 minutes from here in Provo, dude mind his own business, runs into a mob, and cool guy with a 380 decides to shoot at him because they think he's barricading through people, and he's not. He's actually trying to get away from lunatics. Shoots, hits him in the chest, and almost kills him. Luckily, he survived. That shouldn't be something that we deal with in America. That's something I dealt with in Yemen. It shouldn't be something we deal with here. This is your lifeline, and that gun inside of your vehicle, that truck gun, is your emergency plan of action. Make sense? Cool. Let me shoot this 5.45 a little bit, and just see how it runs a little bit, and then we'll get hot.
Or you could be like Doc P. Remember we got that gunfight with M1A, 308, 60.
Yeah, you ain't winning against a 308. All right, you got eyes and ears, guys? Oh gosh, this thing just feels badass. All right, we're gonna do this, guys. Thanks, I appreciate it. That's a wrap.